Welcome to Evangeline Ed Academy. Today, we are going to study about cost, scale of production and break-even analysis, chapter 4.2, IGCSE Business Studies. Introduction. What is the meaning of business cost? Business costs are the expenditures a company incurs in order to generate revenue and operate its daily activities. In simple words, business costs are the money spent to run the business and make sales. Why must the factory manager think about costs? Costs are the foundation of key business decisions. Number one, profitability. The manager has to compare the total cost versus the total revenue to accurately forecast if the new factory will generate a profit or a loss. Number two, location choice. The manager will have to evaluate and compare the projected operation costs of different potential locations to select the most cost effective site. Number three, pricing strategy. The manager has to determine the minimum selling price required per pair of shoes, for example, to cover all costs and achieve the target profit margin. 4.2.1 Classifying costs using examples like fixed, variable, average cost, and total cost. Let's identify and classify the costs. The main type of costs are fixed costs and variable costs. What are fixed costs? Fixed costs are costs that do not vary with output produced or sold in the short run. They are incurred even when the output is zero and will remain the same in the short run. In the long run, they may change. It is also known as overhead costs. Example, rent. Even if the production has not started, the firm has to pay the rent. What are variable costs? Variable costs are costs that directly vary with the output produced or sold. For example, material costs and wage rates that are only paid according to the output produced. So, what are total costs? Total costs are fixed and variable costs combined. And what is average cost per unit? Average cost per unit is the total cost of production divided by the total output. So it is sometimes referred to as unit cost. Hence, the formula for total cost equals fixed cost plus variable cost. Total cost equals average cost into output. So this is another formula for total cost. Hence, how do you find out the average cost? It is the total cost over total output. How do you use the cost data to help make simple cost-based decisions? Example, how do you decide if you have to stop the production or continue the production by using the cost data? A business can use these cost data to make different decisions. Some examples are number one, setting prices. If the average cost of one unit is $3, then the price would be set as $4 to make a profit of $1 on each unit. Number two, deciding whether to stop production. If the total cost exceeds the total revenue, a loss is being made, and so the production might be stopped. Number three, deciding on the best location. Locations with the cheaper costs will be chosen. 4.2.2 Economies and Diseconomies of Scale. What is economies of scale? In simple words, it is reducing unit costs by getting bigger. Economies of scale are the cost advantages a business can achieve as it increases its scale of operation. That is, if it gets larger. These cost savings reduce the average cost per unit. What is purchasing economies? It is buying in bulk, where it allows the businesses to secure significant discounts on materials, components, and spare parts. What are the advantages for large firms in purchasing economies? Lower cost per item compared to small firms buying small quantities. Number two, financial economies. Banks and lenders view large firms as lower risk borrowers. Hence, the advantage is that they can raise capital more cheaply and are charged a lower rate of interest. What is managerial economies? Large firms can afford to hire specialist managers like marketing manager, HR manager, and qualified accountants. Hence, the advantage to managerial economies is that there is increased efficiency and better decision making from expert staff, reducing the overall average costs. What is marketing economies? This is the distribution and promotion costs which do not rise proportionally with size. Hence, they can afford their own transport using larger and more efficient vehicles, and advertising rates offer better value for larger ads, and sales staffs can handle more product lines. Number 5, technical economies using advanced machinery and large scale production methods. Hence, flow production and division of labor increases efficiency. They can afford expensive, high capacity machinery that would be uneconomical for smaller firms to run below capacity. Large vessels or vehicles drastically cut transport costs for raw materials and finished goods. What are diseconomies of scale? Diseconomies of scale is the limits to growth. Why getting too big can increase average cost. Diseconomies of scale occur when a business grows so large that its average cost per unit begin to rise, leading to a loss of efficiency. What are the problems of diseconomies of scale? Number one, poor communication. More complex organizational structures make it difficult to send and receive accurate messages quickly, which in turn leads to slower response times, and mistakes leads to lower efficiency and higher costs. Number two, lack of commitment. Workers feel unimportant or unvalued when they are separated from the top management. Hence, there is low morale and reduced worker efficiency drive average costs up. Number three, weak coordination. It takes longer for management decisions to reach all departments and for different parts of the business to work together. Hence, the managers become removed from customers or markets, leading to difficulty in coordinating work towards common goals. Hence, what is the current trend? Many very large firms are breaking up into smaller manageable units to avoid these diseconomies and restore efficiency. 4.2.3, Break Even Analysis. What is the concept of break even? The break even point is the level of sales or output where a business's total revenue equals its total cost. The key concept is number one, minimum sales level. It is the minimum output a business must sell to cover all its costs, that is, the fixed and variable costs. Number two, no profit, no loss. At this point, the business is neither making a profit nor a loss. It is simply covering its expenses. Number three, survival indicator. Reaching break-even point quickly is crucial for a new business's survival. Failing to reach it means the businesses will always make a loss. How to construct, complete, or amend a simple break-even chart. To construct a break-even chart, we need three core pieces of financial information, which is the fixed cost, variable cost, and revenue. So here, what is the fixed cost? Looking at the picture, The fixed cost is constant at $5,000 regardless of output, that is 0 to 2000 units of output. So the graphical line is the horizontal straight line at 5,000. Number two, variable costs, which is $3 per unit. It is calculated as $3 times output. And the graphical line, it is the straight line from 0 at 0 units up to 6,000 at 2,000 units. What is total cost here? This is the fixed cost plus variable cost. It starts at the fixed cost level at 5,000 and runs parallel to the variable cost line. So the straight line from 5,000 at 0 units up to 11,000 at 2,000 units. What is total revenue here? It is $8 per unit, which is price into output. So the graphical line is the straight line from $0 up to 16,000 at 2,000 units. How to interpret a given chart and use it to analyze a situation. Break-even point. And what is the meaning on the chart? It is the point where the total revenue line crosses the total cost line at 1,000 units. Importance: this is the crucial level of sales where total cost equals total revenue, that is no profit or no loss. And which one is the area of loss? The region to the left of the BEP, of the break-even point, that is output, is lesser than 1,000. This shows that the total costs are higher than the total revenue. The business is operating at a loss. Which one is the area of profit? The region to the right of the break-even point where your output is more than 1,000. And what is the importance here? This shows that the total revenue is higher than the total cost. The business is operating at a profit. What is maximum profit? The largest vertical gap between the total revenue and total cost line, which occurs at maximum output, that is 2,000 units. So the importance of this maximum profit is it shows the highest profit the business can achieve, which is $5,000, that is revenue of $16,000 minus total cost of 11,000. So in summary, the business must sell 1,000 pairs of shoes to cover its cost and avoid making loss. How to calculate break-even output? The break-even output is where the total revenue equals total cost. So let's calculate the break-even output for the data given. Break-even output equals total fixed cost over selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. According to the data given, fixed cost equals $5,000 over selling price per unit equals $8 minus variable cost per unit is $3. Hence it is $5,000 over $5, and the answer, that is the break-even point, is 1,000 units. Define, calculate, and interpret the margin of safety. What is the margin of safety? It is the amount by which a business's sales exceed the break-even point. Formula: actual sales minus break-even point, which means the higher the margin, the safer the business is, as sales can fall by this amount before a loss has occurred. For example, if the maximum output is 2,000 units, the margin of safety is 2,000 units minus 1,000 units, which is the break-even point that we found in the previous calculation. Using break-even analysis for simple decisions. Managers can use the analysis to predict the impact of changes like price increases or cost changes. Decision scenario: increase selling price, Let's say if price rises from $8 to $9 with fixed cost still being at $5,000, you calculate the new break-even output as total fixed cost divided by the selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. Hence, the total fixed cost is already 1000, so 5000 divided by the selling price per unit has changed to $9 now. So 9 minus $3 equals 833. Hence, the break-even point falls at 833 units, meaning the business becomes profitable sooner. Increase in fixed cost. If fixed cost increases due to high rent, the break-even point will rise. And what is the negative impact? The business must sell more units just to break even. Understanding the limitations. Number one, inventory risk. It assumes all goods produced are sold. It ignores the risk of unsold stock. Number two, constant cost or revenue. It assumes cost and revenue are linear, that is straight lines. So in reality, variable cost rise faster due to overtime and revenue lines flatten at high volumes. Number three, fixed costs are fixed. It assumes fixed costs do not change. However, scaling up output significantly often requires expanding the factory, which increases the total fixed cost. Finally, narrow focus. It focuses only on the break-even point in profit, ignoring other vital managerial concerns like wastage, market competition, or efficiency improvements.